Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you all are doing good. So let us get back to DP problems. And as I had some free time, today's holiday, so I thought I'll upload a video now only. So let us see today's problem. It is quite interesting and quite difficult, tricky also sometimes. Count palindromic subsequences. So we're given a string of length n, and we have to find the number of palindromic subsequences, not necessarily distinct. So actually there is a harder version of this, which is count all unique palindromes, palindromic subsequences. That is another level. But now for this problem, we don't have to bother about whether it is distinct or not. And we have to return the answer modulo 10 power 9 plus 7. So this modulo can be handled anyway, but how do we answer this? So palindromic subsequences. So let us start from a few basic things, whatever we know. Suppose a string given to us, suppose let it be A. So what is the length of the string? Length of the string is equal to 1. And how many palindromic subsequences are there? First, let us find out how many subsequences are there. So empty subsequence and A. Empty we don't consider anyway, so we can forget that, correct? So only one subsequence is there, which is A. Is it a palindrome? Yes. So even if we take a string B or C, whatever, if a string has length 1, then answer we know is going to be 1. Correct. Okay. So now let us take another string. Let it be AB. Now length of the string is equal to 2. How many subsequences are there? A, B. How many are palindromes? See, because we are considering only A here, only one character means palindrome. Even B will be palindrome. But AB also is a subsequence. This is not a palindrome. So in this case, answer is 2. But what if I have taken another string, for example, str is equal to AA? Then how many subsequence will be there? This A, then this A, and AA. Correct. So here we see that there are 3 palindromic subsequences. These are the subsequences and all are palindrome. So what we understood that if the length of the string is 2, then the answer can be 2 or 3 depending upon whether the first and last characters are the same, then it will be 3, otherwise it will be 2. So these things we already know now. This much is done. Now what about other lengths? So let us take examples of other lengths. Okay. Suppose our string is now say, let us take a slightly big example now. ABCBA. Length of the string is equal to 5. Here we can observe that we can't make any direct conclusion. Like when the length was 1 or 2, we could directly do some observations and get it. As and when the length increases, we can't do any direct thing. So here we have to get some algorithm, correct? So the case where length 1 and length 2 we have already discussed, it can act as a base case. Like we don't have to calculate it, we already know it, right? So that was helpful. We will use that in the future, okay? So suppose, okay, now let us take this string. Now just imagine that if you could know each and every character, like how many loops would be required? If you were to decide this is palindrome and you were to generate all the subsequences of this string, then that will be 2 power n, and then checking for palindrome another n. So it will be exponential, correct? Checking all the subsequences, it will become exponential. Exponential. Yeah. So this is not optimum. We can't do this. We can't generate all the subsequences. See, if n was some less than 10 or something, then it is okay. But n will usually be 100 and all. So this will become too big. So we can't do brute force. So why am I telling all this? Because see, if we should actually start looking at the problem from layman term only, because in the actual interview exam or whenever a different problem comes, we'll be able to get to the approach in that correct way, right? So now, because you have already seen the thumbnail, it is under DP. You have to use dynamic programming, you might know, but how to get to know that actually? So, okay, we can't do brute force. Now, usually in dynamic programming, we reduce it to O of n square. We make some table, we do some memoization, correct? Or recursion, we use, sorry, table we do with bottom up approach, and recursion we try to optimize with memoization, something like that. But basically, we try to reduce it to O of n square, right? So when we are saying O of n square, that means there are two loops. So when there are two loops, basically we will have control over two characters, two parts of a string. So that is what I want to say, that because we are aiming for this kind of time complexity, at least this much. See, even O of n might be possible. We don't know till now, but usually this is considered optimum, right? So for this, usually we have two loops, and in those two loops, we have like I and j, and we have something like dp of I, j. Okay. So these, so at a time, we will have control over two states or two characters or two variables, whatever. Two, we'll have control of two things, right? So let us keep these small things in mind, which will help us get our approach. Now see here, let us consider this A, B, C, B, A. If I consider the first character and the last character, and I see that, okay, both of them are equal, then I know that this subsequence can at least become a palindrome. What I'm trying to say is, see, now A is equal to A, correct? First and last. So I can think that, okay, fine, it is equal, because they're equal, it can be considered as palindrome. But in this string, how many palindromic subsequences are there, and how should we consider them? So first of all, let us try to generate all the palindromic subsequences of this string. So it will be A, B, C, B, A, correct? All the five characters individually if I take. Then I can also do something like BB. See, BB is possible. BCB is also possible. Then ABA is possible. Another ABA is possible because there are two Bs. ABBA is possible. And ACA is also possible. Is there anything else possible? So how many we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So there must be some more. And obviously ABCB also possible. And what is the another one? Another one will be AA. I didn't write AA. So AA. So basically there are 13 subsequences. So how to get these? How do we try, like now we simply wrote it, correct? But how do we get these actually? For that, we need to observe some things. What observation we have to make is, so now it is A, B, C, B, A. If I remove A and A from here, this will become the middle part of the subsequence or the string, whatever. Now you see that if I do B, C, B, I can either add A here, or I can add this A here, or I can leave it like that only. I won't add any of them, or I'll add only one of them. Correct. So I am trying to break the problem further into smaller problems. See, now this problem of finding the number of subsequences, it is actually like 4 problems. We find all the palindromic subsequences in the middle part, excluding the first and last. We also consider the palindromic subsequences with the first and last characters. And there are 2 more things. Either we take first character with the middle part, or the last character with the middle part. So this can be something like a prefix, and this can be something like a suffix, and this can be a middle part, and this can be the total, like the full length. So why did I do this? Because see, now I can apply the same logic of splitting a problem like this into further sub problems and make it into smaller problems, so that eventually I will reach length equal to 1 or 2 and I will know the answers for that. So because I will know the answers for that, I can get the solutions from there and finally build the answer for these bigger problems. So okay, this was how I told you, but how will we actually look at it now? So let us see now. Let us take an example. Okay, suppose I consider A, B, C, B, A only. I forget the last character and I consider A, B, C, B. I forget the last, not A, B, C, B, A, B, C, B. Only first 4 characters I take. Okay. How many subsequences are possible? A, B, C, B, 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 and B, C, B. The palindromic subsequences, not all. The palindromic subsequences only we should concentrate. Okay, so here 6 are possible, correct? Now I will do one thing. I will take the suffix part. I took the prefix part. Now let me take the suffix part. So I will have what? BCBA. So how many are possible? BCBA, BB, BCB. So again 6. Correct. Now if I take only middle part, that is only BCB. So how many will I have? BCB, BB, BCB. 5. And if I take the full one, ABCBA, then what should I have? Now you tell me for this full length, what all should I have? See, in prefix, suffix and middle, there are so many terms which are common. If you observe this, I think this entire thing will repeat one more time. So this thing is being repeated. Actually, we will have only 13, right? We should have only 13 subsequences. And what are they? They are going to be this. Correct. So they are going to be this much only, and one more A will come. So you can see that this number of palindromic subsequences of the middle part, if we exclude first and last character, it will be repeating. So we don't have to consider all of that. We don't have to consider because we will be taking it 2 times. So how do we formulate the answer now? So we can find the number of palindromic subsequences of prefix and we can do the suffix also. But what about this middle part? This middle part will be the question. How do we get the answer for that? So what we observe here is that, see, we got 13 here, correct? What is 13? 13 can be written as 6 plus 6 plus 5, sorry, 6 plus 6 minus 5 plus 6. Thirteen can be written as 6 plus 6 minus 5 plus 6. What is here? What is that I'm saying here? See, consider only these 2 examples, BCB and ABCBA. In BCB, how many ever subsequences we have? 5 subsequences, correct? These are those 5. Now in ABCBA, what is happening? This A and A are going to be attached. Now you tell me one thing, how many different palindromes we will get? We will get only one different palindrome which is not present here, and that will be ABCBA. So only one will essentially get, right, if we are going to put both of these two. So we are getting all these palindromes when we are considering for this case also. So what will be the answer now? So for this, so number of palindromic subsequences for this string will be number of palindromic subsequences for the prefix part plus suffix part plus 1. Why plus 1? How did this 1 come here? See, I told you, right, middle part if we consider, and if we consider middle part plus first and last character, then we'll observe that the count of number of palindromic subsequences for this will be equal to this, how many our count is there, plus 1. See, what were the palindromic subsequences for this? BCB, BB, CBB, correct. Now I am considering the case where I am adding both first and last. So if I add first and last everywhere here, then only one extra I will get, which is AA. So this will be there, AA will become extra. So because we had to subtract this from our total answer, it is equivalent of adding 1. Because when we are subtracting this, we also have to add the case where these two are going to be considered. So effectively we are adding 1 only. So if we find out how many are present in prefix, how many are present in suffix, and add it to 1, we will get the answer for our required palindrome. But this is the case when first and last characters are going to be equal. What if the first and last characters are not equal? That means, for example, if I consider only the string BCA, let us say the string is BCA. See, first and last characters are not equal. So I don't even have to consider the case when we, like with the middle part, we don't even have to consider the case when we are going to add first and last, because this will never be a palindrome. So now it is enough to find out how many are there in the prefix and how many are there in the suffix, and we will subtract the middle part. Because see, in this case, what is prefix going to be? Prefix is going to be BCB. Forget the last character. What is the suffix going to be? Forget the first character, CBA. And what is the middle part? Middle part is going to be CB. How many are here? B, C, B, BB, BCB. And over here, CBA, that's all. And over here, how many are there? CB. You can observe that CB is repeating two times. We don't want that. So in this case, when first and last characters are not equal, it is enough for us to find out what is the count in these parts. How to find out what is suffix and prefix? So if we have a DP table, okay, if we have any DP table, and if I consider this cell, suppose DP of I comma j, what will DP of I comma j tell me? What should it tell me? It should tell me the count of palindromic subsequences starting at index I and ending at index j for that particular string. So that particular string starting at index I and j, how many palindromic subsequences are present in that? And what will be the prefix? So prefix was, we forgot the last character. So it is from I to j minus 1. So count of like how many palindromic subsequences are there in the prefix will represent dp of j minus 1. I and j minus 1, dp of I j minus 1. And obviously suffix will denote what? dp of I plus 1 j. Because in suffix, we forgot the first character. We left the first character. See, suffix is this, right? If suppose the string is BA, suffix is this much. So this character we are considering. And what is the middle part? Middle part is when we forget first and last. So it will be from I plus 1 to j minus 1. So that will be dp of I plus 1 j minus 1. So you think about this. So there are only two things now. So let us summarize our entire problem. Okay, suppose the length is equal to 1. then we know how many are there? 2. There is only one palindromic subsequence. If length is equal to 2, it can either be 2 or 3, depending upon if the first and last characters are same. For any other length, what we should do? We should check if first character is equal to last character. Then this is one case. Then what will be the count? Count will be how many ever are there in prefix plus suffix plus 1. If this is false, else, that means first and last characters are not equal, it will be prefix plus suffix minus the middle part. So with the help of this logic, we can get the problem to become smaller and smaller and get the answer for that. So let me now dry run this algorithm for this example, and I will show you in the DP matrix. So A, B, C, B, A. A, B, C, B, A. So column is represented by J and row is represented by I. So what we will do, let us first consider subsequent of length 1. Of length 1. It means what? We are considering characters A, B, C, B, A. All of them are palindrome. So fill 1 everywhere over there. So what does this cell represent? It represents string starting from character I ending at character J. So basically DP of IJ over here will tell us palindromic subsequences starting from I ending at J. Correct. So 1 we filled everywhere. Now let us take palindrome of length 2. So palindrome of length 2, it will be this, all these cells in this diagonal. Because see, we are considering AB, then we are considering BC, we are considering CB and BA. So AB, how many will be there? 2. Here also 2, here also 2, here also 2. So fill 2 everywhere. And what about this lower triangle? Lower triangle, does it make sense to count in the lower triangle? All these values can be neglected, right? All these values can be easily neglected. Because if I am over here, it means that I is equal to 1 and j is equal to 0. How can a string start from 1 and end at 0? It doesn't make sense. So if I is going to be greater than j, we don't have to do anything. Okay. Now let us consider palindromes of length 3. So if I consider length equal to 3, let us consider this cell. So I will start from 0 and I will go until I plus L is less than or equal to N. Because length can maximum be equal to N, right? So I will start from 0 and J will be equal to I plus L minus 1 because I'm only interested in first and last character. So last character will be the starting character plus length of the string minus 1 because it is 0 based index. So in this case, I is equal to 0, j is equal to 3 minus 2, 3 minus 1, 2. So now you tell me what is dp of 0 comma 2 going to be. So we are here, we are focusing here. So is the character str of I equal to str of j? What is str of 0? A. Str of j is C. A is not equal to C. So when the first and last characters are unequal, what has to be done? We should consider the prefix part, that is dp of I plus 1j, and we should consider the suffix part, dp of ij minus 1. Sorry, this is the suffix and this is the prefix. And we should subtract it from dp of I minus 1, j minus 1. So over here we are, what is dp of ij minus 1? 2. I plus 1j 2, 2 plus 2 minus 1, 3. If we come here now, we won't go here, we'll go here. So operations will happen diagonal wise. So we are going here now. Again 2 plus 2. But look at here. Let us look at this case now. See this case, I is equal to 1, j is equal to 3. So what is str of 1 and str of 3? BB. We are considering the string BCB, or you can say the subsequence BCB. How many palindromic subsequences are there here? Because first and last characters are the same, it is going to be prefix plus suffix plus 1. So 2 plus 2 plus 1, 5. Similarly here, C is not equal to A. So 2 plus 2 minus 1, 3. Now let us go to length 4. If we consider the string A, B, C, B, first and last characters are not matching. So it will be prefix plus suffix minus middle. So 3 plus 5 minus 2. 3, 5 minus 2 here, which is 6. This also will turn out to be 6, and finally this will be 6 plus 6 plus 1, 13. So like this, if we solve, the answer will be in the cell 0, n minus 1. So this is something like a bottom-up approach, okay? And we are able to get the answer. Now, solving this problem in the interview especially will be very hard, because you will have to generate and test this for many examples to derive at the answer. So it is better to practice such problem before only and remember, because otherwise most likely it is not possible. It depends, it's very tough. So now I'll show the code. Actually I've written it because it is going to take too much time if I explain. So first of all, I've taken a DP array, okay? This is not a DP array, it is a DP matrix. And I filled 0 everywhere. Now this outer loop, what is it doing? It is checking for length 1, 2, 3. It is basically trying to find strings of length 1, 2, 3, so on until n. And the inner loop I, it will run from 0 and until I plus L is less than or equal to n. Otherwise there is no point, right? We are going outside the string. Then I'm getting the last character j of that particular string. I'm checking if length is equal to 1, I'm saying dp of I j. Actually here I should write j, but I it is the same thing, because when length is 1, I and j is the same, right? Now if length is equal to 2, I'm checking if first character is equal to last character. There will be 3 palindromic subsequences, otherwise 2. If both these conditions are false, that means the length is greater than 2. We check if first and last characters are equal. Then we have to just do 1 plus prefix plus suffix. Otherwise, we have to do prefix plus suffix minus middle part. Why minus middle part? Again, because we will be adding it 2 times. Multiple times we'll be adding, which is not needed. And because we have to take mod, we will take mod like this, just so that we don't get negative answer. So we add mod here and then take mod again, so that we don't get negative answer. And then finally we return dp of 0, n minus 1. So coding part will be easy, but generating this idea and getting the table only will be very tough. So you have to take a lot of other examples to completely understand this. I've taken only one to just give you some guidance, but it is better if you take some more examples. So the problem is solved. It is a little difficult for me to explain. I did not know, and it was difficult for me also to solve it, but I hope you got some kind of idea. I tried to develop and build the solution so that you don't have to literally mug it up. Although it is good to remember, because very likely that we can solve it in the interview if asked. It depends on a person. So yeah. I hope you liked the video. If you did, please hit the like button, share it with all your friends as much as possible. Subscribe to the channel. It will really motivate me. Until the next video, take care, stay safe, keep learning, keep growing, stay tuned. Bye.